Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Dear Bitchy Waiter. This is the web series where I answer questions sent in by you, the viewers, and most of those questions have to do with the food and beverage industry because that's who I am. If you have a question, send it to me at sideofmustard@gmail.com. Try to make your question short and about the restaurant industry. Who got a sassy haircut this week? I did! This web series is sponsored by Herman Law. They are labor attorneys who specialize in the restaurant industry. So if you've got some funkity funk happening at your restaurant and you don't know if it's legal or not, reach out to them at paycheckcollector.com. Question number 1. Dear BW, I recently had a walkout. The guy came in, ordered 2 vodka cranberries and 2 expensive appetizers and said he was waiting for friends. When he went to the bathroom, our cameras caught him sneaking out the back door. I had to pay his check. Is this legal? Sincerely, Broke in West Virginia.
No.
So many restaurants make servers pay for walkouts, and you know what? It is against the law. They're not supposed to do that. There is something called the Fair Labor Standards Act. That's this whole law that allows us to get paid less than minimum wage, and then the tip credit and all of that stuff. But it also covers other things. It is not okay to make a server pay for walkouts. That's just cost of doing business. Like if somebody breaks a glass or some food goes bad in the walk-in, cost of doing business. It's right up there with electricity, water, any other bill. No. So if you're in a situation where one of your customers walks out on the check and your manager's all, "Oh, well, I guess that's gonna come out of your paycheck." You say these 4 words: Fair Labor Standards Act. Look it up. I don't know why restaurant managers think that we should be responsible for that. It's not our fault that we happen to be serving a low-down, no-good, dirty-doing thief. And it's not our fault that they walked out. When people come in and they have the intention of walking out on their check, they go out of their way to walk out on their check. They will sit there as long as they need to until they see that one opportunity where there is no server or busser or manager in the restaurant, and as soon as they see it, they're like, Fair Labor Standards Act. If your manager tries to get you to pay for a walkout, bring that up to them. Look it up on the internet. Prove to them that it is not your responsibility. It's the restaurant's responsibility. And if you have some more questions like that, you can reach out to paycheckcollector.com because that's kind of what they do. Before we go on to the next question, I'm going to ask all of you to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not going to say the B word because Facebook has been really picky about me using that word, and they're not letting me share my video because I can't say the word that sounds like witch but starts with a B. But follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the word that sounds like witchy but starts with a B, waiter. Question number 2. Dear BW, if I'm at a restaurant and my server gets cut before I leave and another takes over, do they split the tip? Should I tip them both? Thanks, KT. It isn't very often that I get a question from a non-service industry person, so thanks for reaching out, KT. If you're at a restaurant and your server leaves and tells you that somebody else is going to finish taking care of you, I always think that it's between the servers. Tip what you would always tip. It is my opinion, and other people may disagree with me, that it is now between those 2 servers to figure out how they are going to distribute that tip. I know in my experience, if I'm working a lunch shift and 5 o'clock the PM shift comes in, but I still have a lingering lunch table and I'm ready to go, I'm going to turn that table over to one of the PM people, right? And if they tip me, that goes to the PM person. I am happy to forego that tip in order to leave the restaurant. If it's a big check and it has the potential to be $25 or a $30 tip, well, then I'm going to stick around and wait for it. Or maybe I would work out a deal with the server who was going to take over the table and we would split it. That is not up to you, KT. You just tip like you always would. 20% on the total after tax, please. And you let the servers deal with that. In some cases, a server might come up to you and say, "My shift is over, so would you mind closing out your check?" In that case, if you feel like it, close out the check, tip them on that amount, open a new check with the next person, and then tip on that amount. But if you've only got one check, only tip one time and let the servers deal with it. Hey, it's just my opinion. If you don't like it, start your own advice column. Ooh, that was kind of witchy, but it starts with a B. That's it for this week, everybody. If you have a question, send it to me, sideofmustard@gmail.com. And again, try to make the question short and brief. Seriously, my attention span is so bad. Have a great day, everybody. If you like this video, please, oh, please share it for me. I'm trying to get as many eyeballs on it as possible. Have a great day, everybody, and always, always, always tip your server.
Never forget, servers are not servants, customers are not royalty, and employers are not lawyers.